Hello everyone, and welcome to Let's Play Demon's Crest for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Demon's Crest is an action-adventure game made by Capcom, back when they made really good games. This is an old favorite of mine that I figured would be great to play for the Halloween spirit that we're trying to get into. Now we're just going to give it a moment so we can go through the opening and set the groundwork of the story for us. Legends say the world was once divided into two different lands. One realm was ruled by the humans. The other was ruled by demons. One day, 6 magical stones fell from the sky into the demon's realm. Inscribed on the stones were the crests of fire: earth, air, water, time, and heaven. Soon the demons began to fight over these magical stones, and the realm erupted into civil war. Finally, the red demon defeated all the others and collected 5 crests. Not satisfied with the crests of fire, earth, air, water, and time, the red demon challenged the demon dragon for the crest of heaven. After a long and desperate battle, the red demon slayed the dragon and gained the final crest. The price of victory was high. The red demon was critically wounded. How badass that looks. I have defeated the red demon. I shall reign supreme. With the power of the crest. Both the demon world and the human world are mine. And that is the opening story to our game here, Demon's Crest. We take control of our, let's call him the protagonist, Firebrand, the Red Demon. Firebrand has another name that I don't quite know how to pronounce. I think it's like Red Arma or something like that. Red Aramir. And he is a famous character from the Ghosts and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts series of games. And the demon that was chasing him around is called Phalanx. At least I'm pretty sure he's called Phalanx. And he attacked Firebrand at a moment of weakness and stole all his crests from him. Now we are going to play as Firebrand and go and reclaim all the crests that we just lost. Now, this is the start screen. We can of course start the game, we can continue the game. We get passwords as we play the game so that we can pick up from where we left off. And the options over here pretty much are just sound test and change our key configuration. We're going to leave it as it is. Oh, there's not even a sound test in here. So, let's start the game off. Oh, that's not good, is it? Okay, we don't have control of Firebrand just yet. We have to wait for that to show up. I like to believe that that is the zombified corpse of the demon dragon that Firebrand had to kill to get the Crest of Heaven. We are stuck in this Coliseum with it. Luckily, we've got lots of ways to deal with this problem. Firebrand can fly by pressing jump twice, but he can't ascend. He just kind of hovers wherever you left him. And he fights by firing his own balls of fire. Now, I technically don't think we can actually lose this fight. We just fight it until we win. But here's where the game starts proper. Oh, it seems our dragon friend is not done yet. But that was a terrible mistake, dragon. Now you're stuck. We're just gonna huck fireballs at you. And with his head destroyed, he drops a gem that gives us extra life. We're going to find lots of those as we play through the game and increase our life bar. Okay, now I didn't have control of that. That was the game showing us one of Red's tricks, or Firebrand's tricks. He can headbutt. Objects in the background that can be headbutted will be destroyed, like these statues. And sometimes they drop goodies. Now, Firebrand has another trick. He can cling to walls. He can't move up or down walls holding onto a wall, but he can climb up them like that. Look at that in the background. I just love the art direction in this game. Alright, that is a scroll. There's a special name for them, I don't remember what it is though. But as we collect those, we can inscribe spells on them used during the course of the game. In fact, you know what? Now's a good time to pause and take a look at what's essentially our inventory screen. This first row is our firepower. This is the type of blast of energy Firebrand uses while he's in his natural state. These are his crest powers. As he gets new crests, he'll be able to take on new forms. This is his spells. Right now this is a blank scroll. Down here is where he will eventually collect potions. And down here is where he will eventually collect talismans, which give him special powers. And over there in the right, you can see we have 27 GP. There are actually item shops in this game where we can fill up our potions and buy spells. Like that gray coin right there is GP, and as we collect those, we get more money to spend. And those red ones are health. That one will refill our life. Alright, another statue to headbutt. Oh, that one didn't break. This is our first mini-boss. I think these are called hippogriffs. Well, they're called hippogriffs in the game, at any rate. We'll fight a couple of these guys as we play through the game. They're not terribly difficult. They've got two real forms of attack. They fire feathers that can hit you, or they do that little rush you just saw. Of course, they also damage you if they hit you. But that's the end of him. He's turned back into a statue form. But we're not going to just leave this statue behind, no. We're going to smash into a million pieces. And another life gem. You can see now we have 6 dots of health. Most attacks will do us either 1 or 2 dots of health. So we want to collect as many of those as we can. Especially boss enemies. Boss enemies usually do 2 dots of health. Okay, be careful of those horrible moth things down there, because they will damage you. But since Firebrand can fly, it makes platforming around here pretty easy. Now, so far this is a pretty straightforward type of action game, but as we get further into it, the adventure elements start to shine, because we will find that there are multiple paths to take in some stages, and there are lots of places to explore. This may have seemed like a bottomless pit, but it was actually hiding one of the potions that we got. So now it's an empty urn, and later we can fill it. In fact, when we're done with this stage, we'll take a look at the item shops. See, this is how Firebrand can cling to walls. You can climb up them that way. Now, if you look over here to the right, you can see that these walls look unusual. There's something about them. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it. You can see there's a life gem hiding back there. And later, we'll be able to come back and do something about that. Now, I remember this game being tremendously difficult as a kid. I want to see how well that holds up. Alright, here's our first boss. I've watched your progress. I've watched your progress, and I'm glad that I shall be the one to put an end to your petty crusade. I believe you have heard of me. I am Arma. I will be your executioner. Right, this is Arma, and he is going to be a reoccurring boss for most of the game. Hope I didn't give anything away. Now, Arma can really fly as opposed to us, where we sort of glide. He has 2 forms of attack. He has a sort of slow glide that he does there and dives at us. He has those bolts of energy he dives at us. Overall, he's not too bad of an enemy, but the fight can take a little long depending on how aggressive he wants to be. Because he can easily get himself outside of our range of fire. like he is right now. Alright, but we got him. You do seem to possess the strength people have been talking about. I look forward to our next encounter. And off he goes. But in defeating him, he dropped one of the crests. You have found the Crest of Earth. With it, you can morph into G-Gargoyle and gain great speed and the strength to break stone statues. Now the first stage is done, and I think that stage was called the Coliseum. So now we go to our overmap, and Firebrand can fly around and go to different stages. Now some of the stages are obvious. You can see that they look like areas, like that skeleton down there in the forest, or those red houses. On top of that, you can just press start. Or is it select? There we go, start. Now we'll show you where the different stages are. So we're going to go to number 2 right now. Alright, and we've arrived in town. Now, there's a lot of stuff to do in town. We can smash these windows for fun and for profit. We're not going to do too much of that. There's also plenty of urns to break to earn extra coins. But there are NPCs to visit. Now, I don't remember this guy's name, but he gives us hints about the talismans. According to this book, the humans had treasures called talismans. They are rumored to be hidden somewhere in this world. The book says that he who is equipped with the talisman will gain magical powers. Now, as we find talismans through the course of the game, we can come back and see him, and he'll just flat out tell us what they do. Now we have our buddy over here. Hey, you! I haven't seen you around here before. Are you a stranger here? Well, you know what, in this case we're going to say yes, we're a stranger. They say that the red demon known as Firebrand has arisen. He nearly burnt the demon realm to ashes years ago. If Phalanx had not rescued us, we would all be dead thanks to that arrogant fool Firebrand. Take care of yourself. But he also has something different to say if we say we are not a stranger. Did you hear that the red demon Firebrand escaped from the Coliseum? I heard that General Arma is hunting him down. As we get different crests, we can come and talk to him and he'll give us hints about what the crests do. Right now we're in ground gargoyle form. The general was wearing a uniform something like yours. I saw him run and break one of those fountains into pieces once. Ground gargoyle fights a bit differently. Oh, sorry about that. Ground gargoyle fights a bit differently than Firebrand does in his natural state. He fires blasts that run across the ground, or he can shoot them in midair. He doesn't get the headbutt or fly, but what he can do is a charging tackle. The charging tackle will destroy things in front of him. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to do much to enemies. He can still cling the walls. He's not much tougher than Firebrand, but his attacks will do more damage against enemies on the ground. Right now we're going to switch back to Firebrand's normal body. I'm going to head up this door and go inside. Welcome to the Wise Man, a shop of spells. Alright, now we have 5 spells here that we can buy. We can afford all of them. We have the Shadow spell, the Hold spell, the Imp, the Shock, and the Death spell. Now, I didn't use the spells much when I used to play this, so I'm trying to go by memory what they do. I think Shadow creates a barrier around you that helps protect you from attacks. Hold will hold enemies in place that are on screen. Imp will summon a little monster to come and help you. Shock, I think shakes the ground and damages all enemies on screen, while Death will flat out kill all enemies on screen and can even affect some bosses. You know, for the fun of it, we're just going to buy Shadow. Yep, a barrier of darkness will surround and protect you. Do you buy this spell? Yes. Just so we can try it out in the upcoming area. Now, there's one more room up here, but at the moment, Firebrand can't reach it. He can't get over this barrier, and he's unable to fly up and over. So we're just going to move forward. Alright, now, unfortunately, Firebrand cannot swim very well. If he stays in the water for too long, he'll start taking damage. So we're going to avoid spending too much time in the water. Now, do you remember how the ground gargoyle was able to break those fountains? He can't break these fountains, but he can knock them away. And they create platforms for us to keep us out of the water. I don't think I can get that one. Oh, I'm gonna die. Now, he could smash that one, but we're gonna save that for a little later. We're going to take advantage of his tackle here to destroy all these gravestones. Be careful with these zombie hands. If they grab you, they'll keep you in place. And then a zombie head will come up and try to eat you. In fact, you know what? I might as well show it to you. If I can get it to happen. Come on. And no luck. You can see the ground gargoyle is making short work out of the enemies on the ground. And we got another life gem. It's also smashing these skull piles and breaking those tombstones. And that's how we found... Come on. That's how we found that last life gem. Come on. Come on, you make me look like an idiot. Oh, come on. Oh, I think maybe I'll edit this out. Come on. Oh, there's that zombie skull I told you about. Alright, now I've selected our spell, so now you can see it's up there in the middle in that little trio of selected items. You're currently in ground gargoyle form, and we're about to fight our next boss. Okay, I don't know this guy's name. But we're going to summon this shadow barrier to help protect us. Ah, you knocked me out of the air. Now, we do more damage as the ground gargoyle, but we can't fly over him as the ground gargoyle. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to keep switching back and forth between the two, so we can do more damage to him. Ah, now you probably noticed that he just changed color. Knocked me out of the air again. A lot of the bosses do that. When they change color, that means they're getting close to dying. And we get another life gem. Now, we can fly around and go to other stages. Like technically, stage 3 is over here. But we're going to actually go back to stage 2. So you remember, over in the water area, there were statues we could knock around. But first, we're going to stop here and get another spell. This time we're going to buy the Imp spell, because the Imp spell actually helps with what we're about to do next. An imp will appear and work for you. However, you must have money to keep him employed. Will you buy this spell? Yeah, we will. Alright, so after we cast the spell, our money will slowly start to decline as the imp takes it away from us. So we'll be careful and try to rack some up on our way. Ah, it got me. Am I gonna die here? I sure hope not. Thankfully, dying is not too big of a deal. In fact, I'll show you what happens. We get the choice to retry or select a new stage. And we're just going to retry. Alright, even better this time around. So you can kind of see that there's something behind this statue. And it's a doorway that leads us underground. And now we have a whole new area of the stage to explore. Now remember, we saw blocks like this earlier. There was nothing we could do about it. So remember those for later. Oh, careful. Ah. Somebody underneath me shot me. Okay, we're going to change it back to normal Firebrand. Start taking out those one-eyed bats. You know what? I'm probably just going to get hurt trying to get that. Okay, now this stage, or at least this part of the stage, has a fun little gimmick. We gotta keep these candles lit, or otherwise these bats will attack us. But if we light too many of the candles, these ghosts will appear and attack us. There's one. I don't know if we can even destroy them. There's more of these blocks. have full health. You're going to see a lot of that this game, jumping back and forth to switch powers. And that lovely looking pile of ooze is the next boss. Alright, well luckily our health is already at full, so we're just going to leave that behind. Now this horrible beholder monster is going to send its eyeballs out to attack us, several at a time, and they're kind of hard to hit. But we came prepared. We're going to summon our friend the Imp. Imp has a much easier time dealing with these eyeballs than we do. In fact, I think it can even damage the eyeballs that are inside that horrible goo. Okay, now with all the little eyeballs done, the big eyeball is going to come and cause trouble. But the Imp is going to help us out. Now, this eyeball mostly just flies around following us, but it will also spit some sort of goo at us. But since we have the Imp with us, that was easy, no problem. And it burns up, falls back into its goo, and solidifies it. And we get... You got the piece of the fire crest called Buster. With it, you can break through stone. Well, then we see a bunch of stones we would like to break through. Okay, so that puts us at around half an hour of game time. I think we will call this our first episode, our first part. I hope you've been enjoying watching us play Demon's Crest so far. And when we are together next time, I'll show you what we can do with the Buster Crest. Catch you then.